So I'd love to talk to you guys for just a few minutes about how to find a deal. Because I know only a few of you raise your hand about you're struggling to find a deal, but where my market is, it's very difficult. We're in a total seller's market right now, which means the prices are just, there's in my area, in Birmingham, which is not too far from you guys, we are at the top of the market. We have never seen prices this high, ever. This is the high, right now, we have the highest average sales price in history going on in Birmingham. I didn't do the research from Montgomery, but I can bet you it's not, if it's not the highest ever, it's very, very close. We're at the top of the market. Deals are what has been a little bit harder to find. Let me just kind of do one more. I kind of want to poll the audience a little bit more. I think we got a lot more. We have a lot of buy and hold people in here. Buy and hold for long-term rentals. Raise up your hand high if you're a buy and hold guy. Okay. That's almost half. Anyone wholesaling right now? Few of you wholesaling? Want to wholesale or want to wholesale? Okay. Anyone doing fix and flips in rehab projects? Okay. Who's going to not raise their hand no matter what I say?
People that aren't in the market, that aren't in at all.
Okay. I want to talk to you guys. I want to tell you guys a little bit about me, though. Get to know me just a little bit. I'm a 2004 graduate of the University of Alabama. Yeah, I know, kind of on the southern part of the state. Not quite all the way, but don't get the reception I get in Birmingham.
Well, it's UAT.
I went to, I don't know if there's anyone in here that experienced something like this, but I went to college, got a degree, and then found out that, my degree, I think that a lot of people are finding out right now as they exit college, your degree's not worth what it used to be worth. And I just bounced around. I couldn't find a good job. And it took me a good, 6, 7, 8 years to figure out really what I wanted to do. I ended up going back to school. I live in Birmingham now, went to UAB, got my master's degree in education. And I used to coach college basketball. I went specifically back to school to get my secondary education degree because I wanted to coach basketball because I love coaching, I love teaching. And so it was just kind of by default. This is me at UAB as a kind of a low-level graduate assistant. I was actually the assistant to the video coordinator. That sexy job title right there. Not the video coordinator, the assistant to video. But basically what I got to do is do the video coordinator's job. He wanted to sit on the bench and not do anything. I was, taking 19 hours both semesters trying to get my master's degree. And just literally that year, that 2011-12 year, which was if you're familiar with basketball in here, Mike Davis's last year before he got fired. Went to all 31 games that year, filmed every single one of them. Got to, obviously be with the team. Learned so much that year about work ethic. It's the first time in my life I learned what work ethic was, and I really was able to transition that over to my real estate business, which I'm going to talk about in a second. This is, me there. I spent some time not too far from here in Troy, Alabama. My good friend, Mr. Michael Curry, is right there in the middle. He is now an assistant coach at Alabama State, which is, I think, right around the corner over here. So I'll meet up with him later on tonight. Very excited to come back down here and kind of rekindle some old friendships. But got to sit on the bench for every game that year. In 2012-13, I was the actual video coordinator that year. So what they do, if you're not familiar with college basketball, is there's a head coach, there's 3 assistant coaches, and then there's one other position that can be paid. There can be 5 total paid positions. And sometimes there's a director of basketball operations, sometimes they call it a video coordinator, sometimes they kind of label it. I basically did the operations, I did all the video stuff. It was a good experience. Working for Don Maestri, he won his 500th game in his career that year, so it was really cool. Any Troy people in here? Anybody down in Troy know anything about Troy? They got a beautiful new arena. If you haven't been down there, you should go check it out. That was that year I was there was the very first year it opened. Awesome arena, you should go check it out. So that's me, and then right after that, so Don Maestri retired, and now he's at Texas A&M as a I forgot what he calls it, he's not a coach, but I forgot what they call it. But he's helping out the basketball program at Texas A&M because one of his former players is the coach there. So the very next year I went to Snead State. Anyone know where Snead State is? Nobody? Boaz, Alabama, about maybe 30 miles west of Gadsden, kind of northeast Alabama. You notice how all these said 2011, 12, 12, 13. That one only says 13. I didn't make it into 2014. I actually didn't even make it to the first game that year because it's right when I found real estate. And real estate changed my life so much that I could not help it. I resigned before the season even started. I ended up making $10,000 on my very first deal. You know how much money I made as a low-level assistant coach, coaching basketball? How much?
Oh, 8.
$6,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For an entire year, coaching and teaching adjunct English as an adjunct English professor. 6. Made $10,000 on my first deal. It was a wholesale deal. It was obvious right then and there. You know, I love this basketball thing, but I feel like I need to try something else. You know, try this real estate thing, see where it can take me. So I found it in 2012. Made $10,000 on my first deal. Went to Troy that whole year. Finished out that year. Had the real estate bug bad. Ended up buying a property right in the summer of 2014-13, right when I took that position. And from there, it was kind of over. So I went full-time in 2013, right after I left Sneak State. This is what has happened in the 4 years since then. My wife, who's a pharmacist, was able to quit a 6-figure job because we ended up replacing our income with real estate. That's the impact that happened in our lives. I know there's a lot of people in here that have been doing real estate for a long time, and you probably say, you know, real estate's probably impacted your lives like that. You know, getting to the point to where your rental income actually surpasses your actual income from your job. It was my son, well, there he's right there. My little boy was born in December of 2016. She went on a maternity leave and didn't go back. That's my wife, Catherine, and our little girl, Madeline, is 3, and we're going to Chicago this weekend because I'm from right outside Chicago. Going to see the Cubs. She's going to her second Cubs game ever. We're very excited. I'm very excited for her about that. So that's us. This is what I've been able to do in real estate in a relatively short period of time. I have over 70 rentals, all acquired since 2014. I'm approaching 80 now. Done over $1 million in what some people call quick flips, wholesale revenue in about 3 years. You know, net worth of over $3 million, a little bit more now, all through the power of real estate. And the coolest thing, it's all done right here in Alabama. And I know some of you guys are trying to get started right now. Any one of you could do this. Anybody in here can do something like this. I'm absolutely nobody special. I'm just someone who took the information that was given to me and I did something with it. I just went out and worked my butt off. I was able to do a couple things in real estate. Actually, probably the biggest accomplishment of my life was having the fact that my wife was able to quit her job. You know, she did not want to be at that job. I was at Troy when she called me. It was in January of 2013. She called me from the pharmacy, and I don't know if anyone is familiar with retail pharmacy, where everyone in the world comes in, grumpy, not having their medicine. Everything's the pharmacist's fault. Your insurance declines the medicine, but it's the pharmacist's fault, right? She, very sweet, compassionate, person, as you can probably tell by the picture. She called me crying her eyes out, and she wanted to quit her job. And I'm down there at Troy making $6,000, right? I'm like, you can't quit your job.
Yeah, right now.
But I'll tell you what, that moment changed my life. That moment made it to where I was going to do everything in my power from that moment on to make something happen for us, for her. So I was able to make that happen. Currently, this is what I love doing. I currently own several businesses in the real estate space. I own a brokerage up in Birmingham. We have a company called Alabama Cash Deals, which is just basically a wholesaling company. We go out and find property bargains for other people. We do fix and flips. We hold rentals. And I'm doing some teaching and coaching along the way as well. I love acquiring rentals. I love partnering on deals with people. You're asking for money. If it's a great deal, I don't know a lot about this market, so it might be a little bit more difficult for me. But if it's a great deal, I'd love to at least look at it. So you can email me I'll get to that, at Alleria for a second. I'll get to that in a second. So this is what I'm doing right now. I currently serve as the president of our local real estate club. And I really want to just spend maybe just a couple minutes talking about that because I think it's important for you guys, some of you guys in here. But a lot of my time right now I spend building that and coaching and teaching other people how to do exactly what I do. And I love doing it. We put out tons of videos on YouTube. They're 100% free to check out. You can just search what we call Alleria. I'm going to talk about that in 1 second. And there it is. So we launched Alleria, which is the Alabama Real Estate Investor Association, in January 2017, so we're about 16 months old now. We are already the largest real estate gathering in the state of Alabama. We're regularly getting over 200 people per meeting there, the last 2 meetings, and we have over 500 members, active members, in 16 months. And Dave, who's in Prattville, comes up there, and every one of you in here, if you want to come to Birmingham, anyone go to Birmingham? Just curious. Every once in a while? Every one of you guys are invited. If you want to come check us out, 100% free to do so. If you want to come, you just search Allery. If you just search Google for Allery, we're everywhere. Go to YouTube and search Allery if you want to see some of our free training videos. More than welcome to do that as well. Okay. So we like to bring in local and national real estate speakers. I'm a big believer in real estate education, and hopefully you're going to learn something here tonight. I'm going to show you how we're finding deals right now, the best deals. But I'm a big believer in education, bringing in the very, very best speakers in the entire country. We bring them in to talk to you guys. Dave, we have some good folks up there. Anyone ever heard of Joe McCall?
Yep.
Nobody's heard of Joe McCall? All right, I'm not even talking about him. Anyone ever heard of Tom Kroll? It's tough. It's a tough crowd right here.
We don't get out.
That's right. Hey, listen. Who's in the business to make money? You ain't got time to go listen to those people, right? You ain't got time to go mess with all the junk. I'm out there making money, right? Doing deals, getting rentals, right? Hey, that's what it's all about. We do have a lot of free education. If you want to check out our podcast, we have Alabama's only real estate podcast. We call it the Alleria Masterclass Podcast. It's an interview show. We bring on expert guests, some right here locally and some nationally, kind of give us perspective. Check that out. If you don't know what a podcast is, Google it. I wrote a book recently. Anybody interested in getting a free copy of my book tonight?
Yep. Sure. You betcha.
You notice the title of the book?
Nothing's for sale.
I want to give you guys a what copy?
Free.
We'll give you guys a free copy right here. I only have one though. I'm just joking. I think I brought 3. So, how to become the local real estate authority by giving everything away. Anyone interested in becoming your local real estate authority to where all the deals come to you? Anybody interested in that? I want all the deals to come to me. I want all the private money to come to me. You know what? I've been able to make all that happen by this. See the very last line there? I give everything away. Dave, have I asked you for a dime? No. $49 to become a member for a year of our real estate club. We give it all away. We give away all the information on the podcast. All the information is free. The only thing I charge for, I do charge $49 for a year membership. For you guys to be free. Only Davis. And we charge, I charge for my personal one-on-one time. If somebody wants to hire me as their personal coach, that's the only thing I ever charge for. We're making enough money with our deals, we don't need to charge for something like this. That's why we've been able to grow so much in such a short period of time. And so I'd love to kind of show you some stuff that we're doing right now. Is that cool? Yep. You want to see some stuff that we're doing, how we're able to get all these deals, how to become the real estate authority in a relatively short period of time? Anybody interested in that?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool, got some good energy now. I got rid of the introduction, or got the introductions over with. So here we go. This is the meat of what I want to talk to you about. It's probably going to be about 30 to 45 minutes. Is that cool? Can we go about another 30 or 45 minutes? Absolutely. It's just now 6:30. Maybe go to about 7:15. Is that too late? Okay, cool.
As long as you need.
As long as I need. Does everybody agree with that?
I mean, I'm not in charge. That's what I'm
Normally,
saying.
it
Okay.
kicks out about 8 p.m.
8 p.m. If I'm not done by 7:15, then start to kick me off the stage. So guys, life to me is all about sales and marketing. And you can totally apply that to real estate. All of real estate is sales and marketing. Your entire life. Right now, you guys dressed up. Some of you ladies might have put some makeup on, right? You're marketing yourself. You just are. You're marketing yourself because you got houses you want to sell, right? And you want to make sure you present yourself in a professional way, right? Some of you men are wearing collared shirts. Why am I wearing a collared shirt? You know, I'm a little untucked, but you know, I'm marketing myself. Every single minute, every single day, we are in sales and we are in marketing. If you don't like sales and you don't like marketing, you're probably not going to be very successful with real estate. Because to be good at sales, you have to be a great marketer. People have to know who you are. but you gotta be a good negotiator. What are some other sales skills you need? You gotta know how to talk to people, right? If you don't know how to talk to people, be empathetic.
Know your prospects.
If you don't know how to be empathetic, then you're probably not gonna get a good deal. Probably not gonna be a good negotiator if you can't deploy empathy. So we're gonna talk about some of that stuff today. So this is, I'm not a sales expert by any means, but this is kind of sales as can everybody see the screen okay? You see it okay? To me, sales used to be a lot about pressure. Has anyone ever felt that way? Has anyone ever knock on your door, try to sell you a vacuum cleaner or something like that? A lot of pressure in sales. That's actually, not to say that it's not happening at all, but that's not really what's happening anymore very much. The most successful salespeople aren't doing the pressure sales anymore. Right now, they're starting to kind of emphasize like the negative or the pain points, right? That's kind of what I've seen most recently is they want to like start to emphasize, that pain and kind of just pushing the pain. I know one guy I know in my market, he says it like this, for your house, or he doesn't say for your house I'll offer you X, it's for your pain. It's for, to help, your house, save your house from foreclosure, I'll offer you X. So that's true and that's happening today. But what I've seen as most effective is that, things are completely changing when it comes to sales. And that's, this book that I wrote that's about becoming the local authority. Do you remember the very last line?
Yep.
By giving everything away. And that's really what's happening in sales today is that people are starting to give things away. Like, why do you think, I will do this for free? Why would I come all the way down here to Montgomery and just talk to you guys for free, give you a book for free? Why would I do that?
You've made enough and it pays to pay it forward.
Bull crap. Sounds nice, but that's a load of crap.
You want to find deals?
What's that?
You want to find some deals down here?
No, I don't actually. I have no interest in coming to Montgomery to do
You
deals.
want to make your name bigger so you can get more.
Maybe.
No, the way it is the people who know the most and share it are the most valuable people around.
I definitely agree with that. I think for me, I agree with that, and that's a little bit of it. But what do you think is the main reason why I'm down here?
To build relationships.
Totally build relationships, but why?
Build them out.
What is it? Okay, networking, but why?
Get your name out there.
Well, why?
Make money.
You make money how?
Contacts and everything. Selling.
Guys, anyone ever heard that your network is your net worth? They're totally correlated. I'm down here to build relationships with people. And the best way to build a relationship with someone is to give first. It's the very best way. My mantra, anyone ever heard of Gary Vaynerchuk? I'm just curious. Raise your hand up high if you've heard of Gary Vee. About 4 of you. That's my guy. All right, I'm just not even gonna lie. Gary says it this way, and I picked this up about 5 years ago when I first started kind of listening to his stuff. I try to be 51% of every relationship I'm in. If I give more than I receive, if I give more than I take, then I'm gonna have I forgot who said it, I'm gonna have all the business I can handle. All the private money in the world is gonna come to me. All the deals in the world are gonna fall magically right in my lap. I've proven it. It's absolutely true. You guys want to learn how to actually do that and deploy that? Nobody does? A few of you do? That's what I'm going to show you today. The best way to sell, the very best way to sell anything is to have them come to you, right? It'd be really easy. What's your name again?
Larry Wright.
Larry has a roofing company, right? It'd be very easy if everyone just came right up to you right after and said, hey, I need a roof, hey, I need a roof, hey, instead of you actually having to come out here to these meetings, you have to do this, I do this. If they just come straight to you, that's easy. That's easy to sell, right? Because they're coming to you. That's the best way to sell. And I'm going to tell you something that's the age we live in. That's the age we live in today, is people are actually searching for products and services. And I'm going to get into that more in a second. I do want to kind of take you guys through, I don't want to insult anyone's intelligence in here, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. I do want to just quickly take you through a marketing 101. Does anyone know the difference between inbound marketing and outbound marketing? Raise your hand. And they want to come up here and explain it. You kind of know a little bit?
Get up there.
A couple of you? Nobody knows the difference between inbound marketing and out. Okay. I'm not going to insult anyone in here then. Let's talk about inbound and outbound marketing. Outbound marketing. Guys, outbound marketing is interruptive. It's interruptive marketing. It's interrupting your day. For example, it could be an email. Does anyone sit at a desk with their email open
Nope.
every once in a while?
Yes.
When a new email pops up, you see that it pops up and you glance. Does anyone's phone make a noise when a new email comes through? Do you look at it? It's interrupting you. Whether it's good or bad, it's still interrupting what you were currently doing, right? It's interruptive. What about a phone call? If someone calls you, is that interrupting your day? Again, good or bad, is it interrupting your day? Of course it is. What about commercials? Anyone watch commercials, by the way?
Nope.
A couple of you? Commercials, they're interrupting you, right? They're interrupting the program that you're watching, right? Commercials. And I meant to take that out, but I didn't really mean banner ads, but really like those pop-ups. You know, if you're searching something and a pop-up comes up, why do they make that X box so small? That little X, you click on it, but you actually click on the thing and it takes you to this website? So this is what we've done. Because of all these interruptions, you know we get hit with over 2,000 of these per day? The average individual gets hit with over 2,000 interrupted forms of marketing per day. So what we've done to try to combat this stuff is, for email, we've come up with spam filters, right? Now you only see some of the email coming through. You don't see it all, you only see some of it. For phone calls, does anyone remember the pre-caller ID days, by the way? I know there's some older folks in here. I'm not that old, but we didn't have caller ID when I was in like junior high and high school. Junior high, high school, I didn't have it when I was 50. Phone calls, there's caller ID, commercials. Who does not have a DVR? Raise your hand. Okay, more than I thought. Most people have DVRs nowadays. So they're fast forwarding right through commercials. YouTube videos. A lot of people watch stuff on Netflix and YouTube. They're not even watching this stuff at all. The pop-up ads, the banner ads in particular, we have just, by society, our minds have just been trained to tune all that out. We've completely been trained to not even see that anymore. We only see the actual message. That's outbound marketing, interruptive. Inbound marketing is the exact opposite. It's where they search for you. People start searching you out to find you. Don't you agree that'd be a better way to sell something?
Yep.
Right? If they come and find you, wouldn't it be great? Tell me your name one more time. Sorry, James.
I'm Priscilla.
Priscilla. If someone called you right now and said, "I've got a house in a $200,000 subdivision in Montgomery. It's a great area, and I just need out, and it's in decent condition. Needs a little bit of work, but I just need the payoff. It's $50,000, but I need it to happen in 2 weeks. Can you do it?
Give me 3 days, I'll have it for you.
Can you do it in 2 weeks? Of course you can. But if you got that call, that's great. What if we had those calls coming in every single day? That'd be awesome. It sounds too good to be true, right? It's not too good to be true, and I'm going to show you why here in a second. Check this out. The average person is going to do a Google search first. If I have a question, I'm searching on Google first. Does anyone do anything differently? If you don't know something, what would you do differently? Maybe ask a neighbor, call someone and ask someone. Maybe do some research, go to the library possibly. Anyone doing that? You know, people are getting on the internet and they're searching first. People search for information, they search for reviews. Reviews are very important. And they search for alternatives, an alternative way of doing something. Right? Maybe a how-to YouTube video. Hey man, I don't know how to, change the headlight of my car. I'm gonna watch a YouTube video, right? And figure it out. Guys, here's the biggest question I have for almost all of you in here. Who's buying houses right now? Raise your hand up high if you're buying houses at all. That's it? Like a third of the room wants to buy a house?
Well, you said is versus want.
Who wants to buy a house right now? All right. Sorry, I got the language wrong. Most of the room wants to buy a house. So the question I have for you is, do you come up when someone searches, I need to sell my house fast? Do you come up? I said almost everybody. Do you come up?
Nope.
No.
Why?
I don't got a website.
You don't have a website. And it's 2000 what?
Son, right now, I don't even have a company yet.
Check this out. The number one search phrase for this area is sell my house fast, Montgomery AL. Look who number one is, sitting in the back. How many home investors franchises are down here in Montgomery? How many phone calls do you get a week off just off of AdWords or Google searches?
Well, I don't look at my numbers that close. I do a lot of direct mail too, but I would say off of Google, I don't know, maybe 10, 15.
10 to 15 a week?
Yeah.
Is anyone getting more than 10 to 15 phone calls a week? Raise your hand up high if you're getting 10 to 15 phone calls a week with motivated sellers. But everybody wants to buy a house for the most part, but only one person in this whole room comes up in a Google search. You guys want to see where the opportunity is?
Yes.
You guys want to see where the opportunity is? I'm going to show you the opportunity. Only one person wants to see the opportunity?
It's been a long day.
Guys, like this is serious. I think this is serious business right here. Because who's in real estate full time? I'm in real estate full time. Raise your hand up high. 4 people, 5 people are in real estate full time. 6 people in real estate full time. But only one of those 6 people come up in a Google search on page 1 of Google. The rest of you need to pay really big attention here. You know where the opportunity is? Check this out. Number 2, experthomeoffers.com. Anyone know what that is? It's a national company. Do you think they're buying houses in Montgomery? Nope. We buy houses. Is there a home investors guy? What's your name?
Keith.
Keith. Is there a We Buy Houses franchise down here? I don't think there is either. Number 3, WeBuyHouses.com. It's a franchise. So is this one. Expert Home Offers is a franchise. Any one of you could go buy that. WeBuyHouses.com. I don't think there's one down here. You could go buy that. What is this? 1hourhomebuyers.com. Anyone ever heard of that?
Nope.
Franchise. You can go get the name. You'd be number 4 automatically. And number 5 is localhomebuyer.com. National company. Are they buying houses in Montgomery? Are any of these buying houses in Montgomery?
No.
2 through 5. No, they're not. Any one of you could get this right now. WeBuyHouses.com is going to be expensive. The other ones are not going to be that expensive. They just want profit splits.
What's expensive?
We Buy Houses is 25.
What, we buy the houses?
No,
I
WeBuyHouses.com.
have no idea.
It's going to be close to what Home Investors is. I think it's 25,000 plus an ongoing royalty. Yeah. But do you guys see the opportunity? Raise your hand if you see the opportunity. You know what even a bigger opportunity is? Priscilla? Go create your own website. Right? Go create your own website and start actually doing some SEO stuff, search engine optimization, writing some blog articles. I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. It might be a little bit too much for you. That's why I came up with some of this other stuff. The number 2 search key phrase. We just agreed that if someone if they're in trouble, or if someone has a question, they do what? They go to Google. I've shown you the number 1 search phrase and the number 2 search phrase is We Buy Houses, Montgomery, Alabama. Look who's number 1. Keith. He's the only one. He's the only franchise here. He's getting all the calls. Who's number 2? WeBuyHouses.com. It's a franchise. HighestCashOffer.com. You think they're buying houses in Montgomery?
No.
Nope. ExpertHomeOffers.com. We just saw them. They're all franchises. Any one of you guys can get that, and you can be on page 1 of Google right behind Keith. Right now. Does anyone want to start buying houses? Anyone start wholesaling houses? Anyone start flipping houses?
Yeah,
There you go.
when you do stuff like that, you've got to have the money up front to be able to get in it.
Go find your partner. Stop treating money as an excuse. Money's everywhere. Money's flooding the market. Go find a partner. Plenty of money out there. Guys, That's the difference between inbound marketing and outbound marketing. Outbound is you're interrupting them. Your cold call, which we do a lot of, cold calling is interrupted. It's not as well received. Inbound stuff, they're coming to you. Okay? They search for you. What if someone did a Google search and found maybe a blog post that you wrote? Do you know how easy it would be in Montgomery, Alabama, to get way up in Google just by writing a blog post and tagging it properly? And if you don't know what I just said, don't know what that means, Google search it. There's a video for it, I promise you. How easy would it be to say, maybe do a, something like a foreclosures, how to beat foreclosure or how to stop foreclosure in Montgomery, the top 3 ways. And you wrote this blog post and you got your contact information on there. And you tagged it properly. You shoot up the rankings so fast in this area. We're not in Phoenix. We're not in Denver. We're not in LA. You're in Montgomery. The competition is not that steep here. Any one of you can do this right away and start getting your phone ringing off the hook immediately. What if you recorded a podcast? What if I invited you on Alabama's Only Real Estate Podcast? There's a guy who recorded a podcast with me, and he's down in Tuscaloosa doing a lot of business. And he came on a podcast, and I tag everything. We search engine optimize every single post that we put on our website, alaria.com. If you search We Buy Houses Tuscaloosa, he's like 6th or something on page 1. That podcast is. Isn't that crazy? Just because there's not that much competition down there. There's not that much competition here. Any one of you guys can do this right now. Does anybody learn anything tonight?
Yep.
I'm just curious. Okay. What if they found your informational website that told everybody who you are, what you do? No one is doing any of that. Even Keith isn't really. Do you update the web? Do you update Montgomery a little bit? You could.
I've got some corporate stuff right now. They're trying to take that back over from us, so I can't right now. I have Facebook and Instagram stuff.
But listen to the point I'm trying to make. Guys, there's a couple of, write this down. If you don't want to go pay the franchise fee for some of those other ones, go to a website. Anyone ever heard of Investor Carrot?
Yep.
Yes.
I do not get paid to say this. I'll email Trevor later and maybe I'll try to get some money from him. InvestorCarrot.com. You can go and pay, I think, $97 a month for an Investor Carrot website. They automatically do all, just kind of like what the We Buy Ugly Houses, the home investors guys do. It's more corporate. They do everything for you. You just plug in your information with your phone number and your city, and they freaking optimize this thing for the web. Incredible. There's number 6 on both of those keyword phrases was an Investor Carrot website.
Is that C-A-R-R-O-T? Carrot.
Just like the vegetable that you eat. If you do any of these things right here, do them consistently with patience, guess what you've become all of a sudden in Montgomery? You could become the roofing authority in Montgomery just by doing a couple things like this, if you wanted to. You become the realtor, the go-to realtor, if you're not already out of them. If you did it, just a couple things like this. Tile people, right? Who's your biggest competitor?
Probably Bath Innovations.
What is it?
Bath Innovations.
Okay. What's their online game look like?
They have a lot more marketing. We're just now starting to kind of get into the marketing game.
But it's
Right
like,
now, we're mostly word of mouth.
anybody getting this? Anybody can do something like this? Can you guys do this? You think you guys can do something like this? So let's talk about becoming an authority. What time is it? Okay. Let's talk about becoming the authority. I don't know if you can read that, it's really small. Do not try to be like a big national guy, especially in the beginning. You don't need to. Start local. Start right where you are. I can promise you have no competition. You have very little competition. Pick a topic you have passion for and that you have a good working knowledge of. Find a niche in the market. Tax properties. Does anyone besides Denise Evans do tax properties? How come I don't know about you? But if you're passionate about it, you love it, you're knowledgeable, start putting out some videos, start putting out some pictures, build a website. It's very easy to do. If you can't do it, pay someone on Fiverr, Fiverr.com. They'll do it for $5 or $10.
Say that again.
Fiverr.com, Fiverr. Choose a topic that is niche. I just said that. Niche down. But in Montgomery, you may not have to be that niche because you don't have that much competition. Foreclosures in Montgomery. Anybody writing articles on foreclosures in Montgomery? Is anyone doing it down here? So the next time someone says, I need foreclosure help, guess what's going to come up? Your post that talked about how to stop foreclosure. And you're the authority. You know how to do it. So who are they going to call for help with a foreclosure? Who are they going to call?
You.
Hold on one second, sir. Probate. Anyone doing probate down here?
Montgomery County.
Anyone doing probate down here?
What's probate?
Probate?
I mean, I know what a probate court is, a judge.
Yeah, so if someone dies and they leave behind a property.
Oh, you mean, okay.
Anyone doing that down here? Raise your hand.
I have done
You went and got leads and you did deals?
it. I have done it. I haven't in a long time. Looking at one now.
You guys see the white space? So marketing is all about the white space, right? Go where no one else is. There might be 1 or 2 or 3 people down here doing probate, but what if you did it? And then you started talking about it. And you started writing blog posts about it. And you started posting pictures on Instagram and Facebook. I said Instagram, INSTA,
Yes, the one thing.
GRAM, Instagram. Some of you realtors especially, what if you started analyzing some data? I know Acre does it, Alabama Center for Real Estate does it a little bit. What if you started, we got a guy in our area, he actually works in our office because I encouraged him to do it. His name's Rob Drum. He analyzes MLS data. And he puts out a blog post once every 2 weeks, and he's killing, he's crushing it. People want to do business with him. Why do you think people want to do business with that guy? Okay, you put the time in? Expert? Put the time. What's the word? What's the word on the room?
Authority.
He's the authority.
Where's the other?
He's in Birmingham. He's in my office.
What's his name?
His name's Rob Drum. DRUM.
The authority.
Guys, any one of you could do that if you wanted to do that. Do you believe me?
Yeah.
He is the authority. He gets all the business. Not all the business. He gets a lot of the business. Because they want to do business with people who they know what they're talking about. And he's positioned himself as the authority. Just like, I'm just gonna do a test. No one in here, maybe 2 people in here know me. Who thinks I'm the real estate authority in the state of Alabama or in Birmingham? Raise your hand if you think that. Raise it up high if you think that. Over half the room thinks that. You guys don't know who the hell I am. You have no idea who I am.
You could be a con man.
Totally. You have no idea. Why do you think I am the real estate authority?
But you act
You got a knowledge base.
Any one of you guys could do this. Any one of you. Don't feel like you have to know it all either. And actually, vulnerability and authenticity is super important. If you don't know the answer, like what was your name again? Alice. When Alice is going through what she's going through right now, what did I say? I said, let's go talk to the real estate attorney or the eviction attorney who's in the room. Don't feel like you have to know it all. Just be knowledgeable with what you do and continue to study and continue to work on your craft. But here's what you do have to have. You obviously have to be knowledgeable, right? You have to understand what you're doing. But guys, you have to be generous. Who thinks I'm generous? Just a couple people? You have to be consistent. These last 2 are going to be the most important thing. You have to be consistent with what you're doing. Keith, how many times do you send out direct mail?
Every 2 weeks.
Every single 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah.
Do you let a single one go by where you don't?
I can help it.
Why do you do that? Why do you do it so consistently?
Yeah, I mean, it's, well, I mean, some people, I mean, the first letter they throw away, the second letter they throw away, they're really, why does this guy keep sending me a letter? I mean, you know.
Keith is the guy, man. He's the direct mail guy in Montgomery. It's what he does. Are you doing deals? You making money?
Yeah.
Is it relatively easy to be consistent doing your direct mail?
That's the easy part, just try to check for that.
It's push button, right?
That's probably the easiest part of my life.
The two most important things, if you don't take anything else from this whole entire talk, just these two things right here. Consistency and patience. Consistency and patience. If you do it every 2 weeks, like clockwork, I guarantee you're going to be doing deals. Guaranteed. Keith, what happens if you stop being consistent, you stop doing your direct mail?
Quit doing deals, I mean,
You just stop talking right there. Yep.
pipeline.
That's it.
dries up.
Pipeline's dried up. Consistency, guys, and patience. That blog needs to come out every week. Our podcast that we launched in January of 2017, we do an interview show, comes out every single Tuesday morning at 4 a.m. Why does it come out at 4 a.m.?
Most people see it.
So it's ready for that guy who knows that it's coming out on Tuesday. When he wakes up, she wakes up, it's ready to go. It's ready to go on the drive into work, whatever it is. It's ready to go like clockwork every single Tuesday morning, 4 a.m. Consistency. Guess how many people listen to my podcast the first 6 months?
Probably not a lot.
20.
I had like 100 downloads in the whole first month. And I think I had 200 in the second month. And I think I had 300 in the third month. Slow going. Slow going. But I was what?
Inconsistent.
That's the formula for success right there in anything that you do. Patience plus consistency.
How many
Okay.
listen now?
Was that?
How many listen now?
We get about 3,000 a month. Not groundbreaking.
Still?
It's Alabama Real Estate Podcast. I highly encourage all of you to download.
That's the name of it?
You can Google search or you can search in iTunes or Stitcher for Alaria. A-L-A-R-E-I-A. Alaria. A-L-A-R-E-I-A. It stands for the Alabama Real Estate Investor Association.
You guys on Spotify too?
Spotify.
It's 2,000.
I'm not sure. Because I outsource that.
Big podcast days.
Why don't you Google search it for me real quick on your phone and let me know in a second. Do Alaria Spotify. So tell me what comes up. Guys, becoming the authority. I believe you need an anchor of credibility. Like everyone up here thinks I'm credible, right? Mainly because I'm just the guy at the front of the room with a clicker, right? And a Mac. You guys think I'm credible? But I think you need to have an anchor. An anchor can be, I have a book, right? An anchor is something that's like a pillar of credibility. A book, a podcast, it could be a TV show. I'm not telling you guys to start, get on a TV show, but what if it's like a vlog? What if you video blog? Keith, how many houses do you look at a week on average? 5, 10, 15?
10 to 15.
10 to 15. What if you pulled out your phone every single time for just 2 or 3 minutes, every single time, and just started just vlogging, uploading to YouTube? You think that'd be interesting for people to watch you walk through a property? For some people.
Go live on Facebook.
Go live on Facebook. A lot of different things you can do. I talk about all that in my book. A lot of great things that you guys can do. But that's kind of like a TV show. If you upload something once a day, it doesn't have to be fancy, just 2 or 3 minutes. It's really quick. Everybody has a smartphone for the most part. It's really easy to do. Have a monthly meeting. Any one of you in here, guys, listen to me. Any one of you in here, if you wanted to, especially you're looking for money, you're looking for deals, any one of you could start a meetup. Anybody in this room could start a meetup. It could just be, let's meet up and talk about real estate, and there could be 5 of you sitting in a coffee shop. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be big. Any one of you could do that. When I first started what we called Learn Real Estate in Birmingham, Alabama, was the name of my meetup group. Guess how many people showed up for the first one in April of 2016? Guess how many people showed up for the first one? 4 people. And one of them was my assistant, so really only 3 people. and me. So there's 5 total people in the room. And guess how many showed up for the next one? Like 7. Don't get caught up in the numbers. Get caught up in the relationships, right? And the networking, and continue to build. Especially for you guys that are newer. Go to everything that you can go to. I think somebody mentioned that there's a couple other groups down here. Go to all of them. I highly recommend you meet as many people as you possibly can in this business. That make sense? Make sense?
Yes.
Provide value. I'm going to try to buzz through the last little bit of this. Provide value. You've got to be willing to give without the expectation of making money. Some of you are just like, whoa. You have to be willing to give without the expectation of getting anything back in return. If you do have that expectation, the only time, even in marriages, anytime someone gets disappointed, it's because of unmet expectations. You had an expectation and did not get met, so now you're disappointed, or you're upset, or you're angry. There's no need to, there's no getting upset if you don't have an expectation. If I come down here with no expectations of doing anything with any of you guys, any deals, I'm cool with that. I'm totally fine with that. If I got one podcast listener, which I think I already got a subscriber. If I got one podcast listener, man, I'm thrilled. I'm thankful, very thankful. Anything that I can do to provide value to someone else, I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for the opportunity to be down here. Thankful to Mark for putting this thing on. Don't provide value. Don't post a blog and then only let them read the first paragraph, and they have to click to something else and go to a squeeze page where they got to enter their email and all this garbage. Don't do that crap. Just let them read it, and they'll come to you if they're ready. When and if they're ready. What'd you find? You didn't find it? Sorry, man. That's not up to me. It's up to the
Android guys.
Stitcher. We're on Stitcher on Android. Don't post a video blog, Keith. Don't do a vlog and then put an ad in the middle of it. People are going to get turned off. They're not going to like that. I don't care how much the new page. Don't do it. Guys, anyone ever heard of this guy named Tony Robbins?
Yep.
Oh, see, no one's heard of me, but you heard of Tony. Okay, I see how it is.
He's been around a long time.
Just joking. Guys, let me ask you a question. Do you know what Tony Robbins said is the #1 way to sell? Who thinks they know? Raise their hand. The #1 way to sell anything. Does anyone know? Add value. What is it?
Don't sell it, I don't know.
Relationships. Give it away.
Those are all cool things I'm kind of teaching you, right? Check this out. Entertainment. Entertain them. Entertain people first. Do you know the majority of people make their buying decision in an instant? In an instant. They know right away whether they're going to buy from you. Or in your case, if they're going to sell it to you. Or even better, if they're going to sell it to you at the low cash offer that you need to get it for. So you can make money, right? They know in an instant. But if you can entertain people, has anyone ever heard of know, like, and trust? It's the old Zig Ziglar quote.
Yep.
Guys, nobody, pretty much for the most part, no one in this room knew who I was. Okay? Hopefully, over the course of maybe the first half of the time I was here, you start to maybe like me a little bit, maybe just a little bit. Maybe. And only then, and we've done some entertainment. I usually show a thing right here. I don't have Wi-Fi though. Then people can begin to trust you, and once they trust you, then they want to what? They want to do business with you. They want to do business with you. If people do business with people who they know, like, and trust. In that order, by the way. So usually I play a video right here. I highly encourage you guys. Anybody watch videos on that crazy little thing called the internet?
Yeah.
Anyone watch any videos? I would be honored if you guys liked our Facebook page. It's just Alleria. You go to Facebook and just like our page. I would be honored if you do that. Pinned to the top of our page is this video. Has anyone ever heard of Flip or Flop?
Yeah.
Raise your hand if you've heard of Flip or Flop, the TV show. I personally don't believe that it's realistic at all.
Most of them weren't.
But we did a parody of Flip or Flop, and we pinned it to the top. It's totally entertainment. Go check it out. Leave me a little comment if you found any value out of it and thought it's funny. I'm kind of at the end here. I would love to be able to send you. I actually have this presentation usually lasts about 2 hours. I cut out the whole last half of it. Sorry, I cut out the whole last half of it that talks specifically about how to get on Facebook and do Facebook stuff, post ads, how to post videos, pictures, just content, Instagram, how to do it, how to use hashtags. What's working today, and actually trying to do business. Anybody interested in learning all that stuff, maybe? I will send you the full version of this if you do me one little favor and go and just put a little star rating on our Alleria page, on our Facebook page. Please, five stars only. I had a guy give me, I have 1 4-star, and it like killed me, like totally crushed me. Don't crush me, guys. Don't do it. But if you rate me a 5-star and just put your email address, either send me a direct message, send the Alleria page a direct message with your email address, I'll email you over. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
Does that sound fair? I'll send you the whole entire presentation. Okay, cool. The last couple things, guys. Tony Robbins said, entertain them first, because nothing else matters about entertainment. Brand awareness. Guys, one of the biggest reasons I'm down here, obviously, is the network, but it's also to expand our brand, right? The Alleria brand. The Alabama Real Estate Investor Association. We will be down here permanently at some point, probably early 2019. We'll have a permanent location, and we're going to do some big things down here in Montgomery. And we may end up partnering with Mark. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But we will have a presence in Montgomery soon. So I'm just kind of down here just to try to get to know people and build some relationships before we do that. So Tony Robbins said the most important thing to sell is entertain. Then once you entertain, you become an influencer. And you have influence over someone after you entertain them. And then you can start to educate them. Isn't that interesting? That's how to sell, entertain, influence, and then educate. When we first started this thing, when I first started this whole thing, I started doing all these educational videos on how to do. We weren't getting any traction at all. Then we started doing some goofy videos, and we started getting all these page likes and all these comments and stuff. And so we started doing that first, get people's attention, and then we're able to actually show, hey, we know what we're talking about here. We're going to give you some valuable information.
That's why cat videos do so well.
Cat videos. That's in the beginning of my presentation. I talk about cat videos too. So you're going to have that part as well. Guys, how do I... So all the stuff I talked about up until just this moment is kind of long-term stuff, right? None of that really applies to how do you get a deal right now. All that stuff is playing the long game. It's playing the patience game, right? I mean, We Buy Ugly Houses years and years and years to get a strong foothold nationwide at the top of Google, right? They're on the first page of Google pretty much in every single market, if not at the very, very top, organically. It took them many, many years. So that everything I've taught you today is playing the long game, okay? It's the patience plus consistency thing. If you want to know how we're doing deals right now today, guys, the very best way, how I find the most amount of deals that are the most profitable is through relationships. Anybody want to buy a house right now, or wholesale a house, or rehab a house right now? Raise your hand up one more time. So most of the room they want to do it right now. Let me give you one little tip. Who's not on Facebook? Raise your hand. Okay, so that's your homework. Is go get on. Okay, so I'm just being honest. You want to buy lots of houses, make lots of money. Get a Facebook account. That's your homework. For the rest of you, your homework is you want to do a deal almost immediately. This is really good stuff right here. Go home, post a message on Facebook, just a post. This says something like this. Looking to buy a rental property or two in the next 30 days. If anyone knows of anyone looking to sell a house, please let me know. Send me a direct message or tag me in this post. And then the most important sentence of the whole entire thing is this. By the way, I am already working with a realtor. Please don't send me anything that's on the market. If you go home and you make that post right now, you'll probably get 5 to 10, if not 15 leads immediately. Unless you're out there posting all the time what you do, then it may not be effective. But if you don't post all the time on what you do and that you're actively looking for a house, that right there, your next door neighbor may be going through foreclosure right now, and you don't know it. And why don't you know it? because people don't know what you do, for the most part. You know what the number one killer of small businesses is?
Undercapitalization.
You know what the number one killer of small businesses is?
No customers.
Obscurity. People don't know what you do. It's the number one killer of small businesses.
That actually just happened to me.
Your next door neighbor could be going through foreclosure right now. You could help them. You could buy the house or wholesale the house right now, and they desperately need help, but they have no idea what you do because you've never told them. For some of you in here, that's very powerful. Come to events like this. This is, guys, I'm telling you, this is how I get all the money I've ever needed or wanted to do deals. Meeting people and talking to people in this room. Network with like-minded people. Go to everything. Go to all the events. I don't care if you think they're stupid or not. I don't care if you come for the first 30 minutes just for the networking and then leave. Come and talk to people. And then, guys, have an abundance mindset. Don't feel like just because someone got one house, that's one less house that's out there. That is absolute crap. There are so many houses out there, you guys have no idea. There are so many houses. Everyone in here could wholesale 5 deals a month, and there still would be plenty of houses out there.
Well, how did you start?
Hang on one second.
Do you have a
Hang
partner?
on one second. I'm going to do Q&A. I'm almost done. And then, guys, number 4 is just be patient. Okay? All this stuff, and then just be patient. Okay? Guys, I'd be honored if you were to like any of the stuff that we do and follow us, facebook.com/Alaria, ALAREIA. This is how you can get a hold of me. I'm on Instagram, Brian J. Trippe. I will do Q&A, though, real quick. If you guys have some specific questions, yes, ma'am.
I'm just interested to know how you got started. Did you have a silent partner that had cash?
I started with no money and bad credit.
No money and bad credit.
I started with a credit score at 490 something.
So how did you buy your first house?
I wholesaled. My first deal was a $10,000 wholesale deal. Where I got a house under contract, and I sold the contract to another investor. I made $10,000 in 45 days. I did it because I hustled my butt off. And because I wanted it, and I worked hard. And any one of you in that community could do that. Especially you newer people that haven't done the deal. Just busting my butt. How I bought my first house, I saved up a bunch of money by doing a bunch of wholesale deals. I'm a big believer in owner financing. I've got a couple subject to deals. I have a 59 space mobile home park via owner financing. Eventually built my credit up to where I could do the BRRRR strategy, where I could buy it, rehab it, rent it out, then refinance all my money back out. Did a few of those. Yes, ma'am.
You keep mentioning about foreclosures, and I've been to a few foreclosures on the courthouse steps.
Yes, sir.
And the only person that shows up at the courthouse steps to buy it is the bank. And what I found in the past, and it might still be going on, but I haven't checked, is if you buy it at foreclosure on the courthouse steps away from the bank, you've paid way too much money for it, because once the bank gets hold of it, you can get it cheaper a few weeks or a month down the road.
What's the question?
Why would you buy a foreclosure when you can wait until it goes on the market?
That's because that's not always the case, and B, that's not always the case, and then B, once the bank owns it, it becomes an REO, right, real estate owned, and now it goes with a realtor, and it's available to everybody.
Yes.
So if no one's who has been to a foreclosure auction in the last 3 to 6 months? Okay. How many people roughly are there every time you go? Not a lot. In which county?
Montgomery.
Okay. What about you?
I go to Watauga, Elmore County, and Shelby County.
And there's a bunch there. I know Shelby for
And
sure.
Lee County. Lee County, there's 30 people there at the time.
So the answer to your, I'm not in this market, okay? But the answer to your question to me seems like it's, if no one's showing up, then it's not a deal. So what's happening is people are probably getting foreclosed on who owe at or more of what it's worth, and therefore it's not a deal. There's the minimum starting bid makes it to where it's not a deal. Right. So yes, in that case, it goes back to the bank, and then they can't sell it at what was owed on it, so they have to take the best offer.
I mean, I know personally of one that foreclosed on it,
Right.
$225,000, and I know the person that bought it for $91,000.
From the bank.
Uh-uh.
At the auction.
Once it got on the REO.
Right, from the bank.
Once it got on the real estate website.
Correct. So what probably happened in that scenario was the minimum starting bid was way too high.
Mhm.
And it didn't make sense for any investor to do that.
That's
That's
how
why.
most of ours are here,
Yeah.
the courthouse steps, which is why almost all of them don't sell. But then, of course, HUD or home buyer get them,
Right.
you're just saying,
Yep.
if a HUD, then first 20 days, regular home buyer
Right.
can buy them first.
Of course,
So that's the disadvantage.
totally. Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, what do you charge per hour?
I'm sorry?
What do you charge per hour?
What do I charge per hour? I don't charge by the hour. So, I didn't really prepare to talk about this, and I'm not trying to pitch this at all. The way our coaching program works is you have to come to our 3-day training first. We don't even talk about one-on-one coaching unless you come to my 3-day training. And we just so happen to have one coming up. If you're interested, just email me. That's the best way.
And you give it away, right?
It's very, very cheap. It's very, very cheap. Just email me info@alleria.com. Yep.
I don't know too much about it, but if you can get a house for cheap from the bank, could you flip it with a flippable LLC?
A flippable LLC?
Yeah.
I don't know.
what I'm learning about.
I don't know what a flippable LLC is.
Is it
But just an LLC?
Is it LLC or is it doing that Mark Whitten? He talked about a flippable LLC.
I'm not familiar with that. Is anyone familiar with a flippable LLC?
Basically, using
It is not attached to the bank.
Yeah, absolutely. If you purchase a foreclosure from the bank,
They say you can't sell it within 90 days.
it depends on if it's FHA or it depends on the type of loan that the people are getting. Yeah, if you're brand new, I'm not getting, personally, no, but I'm just trying to give you some advice here. If I'm brand new and I really don't know a whole lot about all that technical stuff, I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about one thing. I'm thinking about trying to get a house. I'm not thinking about foreclosures. I would just completely forget about all that stuff. I would go try to work direct with the seller. I start knocking on doors. I go through, this is what I would do right now. If I was brand new and didn't have any money and I didn't have any credit, this is what I do right now to start getting deals. Now, this is hard, but I'm going to tell you like it is. Okay, you want me to tell you like it is, or you want me to sugarcoat it? Okay, all right. Drive around your area. You live close to here? Drive around this area and find 500, I did not blink, 500 obviously vacant houses. Could you do that here? Are there 500 vacant houses in Montgomery and Watauga County? Find 500, write them all down. Hold on. Okay? How long will that take you to do? 4, 5, 6 hours? 10 hours? How long would that take? Hey, y'all are filled with some excuses. So, in my estimation, it's probably going to take you about 3 3-hour days to do that. Okay? You got 3 hours? Okay. 3 3-hour days, you get 500. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to my tax portal. I'm going to find out who owns it. Okay? All this is in an Excel spreadsheet. Then I'm going to make sure I got all the owners. You know the next thing I'm going to do? I'm going to start searching for these people on Google. I'm going to start searching for them on Facebook, sending them Facebook messages. I'm going to try to find a phone number on Google. Most of it's out there. You'd be scary if you Google search your name, cell phone number. It's probably coming up. Start picking up that phone. Hey, I noticed you have a vacant house at 123 Main Street, or I noticed you own a house at 123 Main Street. Just curious if you'd be interested in selling it. And so your whole goal on the phone is, do you know what it is? You know what your goal is? Get an appointment. Who said that? That's the whole goal. All you're trying to do is get the appointment. You're not trying to sell anything. You're not naming prices. Sir, can I take a look at it? Ma'am, can I take a look at it? When can I meet you there? You're just going to book your whole week with appointments. Here's what I guarantee you. If you do all that and you do 500, you will do a deal. You'll do a deal. Especially if you watch some of our training videos on the Alleria YouTube page. It's all free. Listen to our podcast, it's all free.
How do you go to the podcast?
What kind of phone do you have? What is it?
Smartphone.
Okay, what kind? Do you have an iPhone? Do you have an Android?
Android.
Okay. I'm not super familiar with Androids. There's like a Google Play Store or something like that. Is that right? You know where that is? Google Play. Click on that. Search for Stitcher. Are you listening? Okay. STITCHER. Stitcher. Download that. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Okay.
Email me, this will be easy. Email me, info, write it down, info
I got it.
at alaria.com,
Alright.
ALAREIA. I have a video on our YouTube channel that explains exactly how to go to Stitcher on your phone. It shows you step by step how to do it. Or if you want to do it on your desktop computer, just Google search Alaria Podcast, Alabama Real Estate Podcast. It'll come up.
How long are the podcasts?
They range from 30 minutes to, I got a couple, usually they're 30 to 45 minutes. I got a few that have gone to an hour. Usually they're 30 to 45 minutes.
So, I heard you say that you guys are at the top of the market right now. It's a seller's market.
Oh, totally.
I'm from a bit farther south of Troy, like Enterprise, those
Gotcha.
areas. And I know Enterprise is more of a buyer's market. How are
Which means there's tons and tons of houses available?
Yes,
Okay. At cheap prices?
not really. So,
So then it's a seller's market.
okay. Well,
It's okay, go ahead.
well, okay, so I was working with a realtor. I started talking to her about, it's kind of a friend of mine, about what I wanted to do, and what
Yes,
my
sir.
goals were, and that's what she said, was it's a buyer's market right now, so the flipping and wholesaling isn't happening a lot, but
Because it's a seller's market. It's not happening because it's a seller's market. But yeah, go
It's a
ahead.
seller's market.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. And that's.
Because
that's
if
the
it was a
same-
buyer's market, then that means buyers are able to easily get deals left and right. Seller's market means the seller's in control. It means that the prices are way.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right, okay, I understand that.
yeah, yeah. But
Um,
what's the ultimate question?
well, I was gonna say, is the strategy different than where you're at, but it sounds like it's the same case?
So, obviously I'm not, in a market that's that small, but at the end of the day, there are people buying in your area. What do you want to do? Let me ask you that.
Well, I wanna start wholesaling.
You wanna start wholesaling? Okay, start right there.
That money away and.
So what I would do if I were you is I would try to locate, there's probably only 4 or 5 of them that are buying any kind of volume at all, even if it's just 2 or 3 a month. I would go to, have you been to the courthouse auction? I would go to the courthouse auction. It probably is only held maybe once a week. It might even be once a month. It's in a real small county. But find out what it is and go and just talk to people, network. Is there any kind of real estate, anything going on? Have you searched meetup.com for real estate clubs? There's nothing going on.
Well, here in Fort Walton, Destin area.
But there's nothing going on where you are. You're sure? Then start one.
Yeah.
Totally start one. Get on meetup.com and just, hey, let's meet up and talk about real estate at Starbucks. Totally start one. And, dude, okay, then at the Piggly Wiggly. I don't know. I don't know what else. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm serious. Meet people. Meet people. There are people there that are doing business. Look up your county tax records. Are you a realtor?
No.
Do you know a realtor in your area? They can pull a list of cash buyers in your county off the MLS.
Okay.
So ask them to do that for you.
What do you mean cash buyers?
People who bought properties for cash.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant for the houses.
So yeah, I would do all those things. I would try to find who's buying, what they're buying, what prices they're buying, what areas, and somebody's doing something. Find the people that are building new construction. It sounds like it's a small town, so find anything and everything you can possibly do. It's obviously going to be a little bit more challenging for you, but it may not be. You may be the only dude down there doing it. You may find you a great little niche down there if no one else is doing it. If no one believes they can do it down there, but you actually can, and you figured it out, I would just start doing tons of research. Do you have a full-time job?
I do. but-
All right, what are your hours typically?
Well, like, I'm not doing much right now, so usually I'm.
So
off
you got some free time.
Absolutely.
Get out there and drive around and look for rundown houses.
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked the first question, like, how do I find out who's buying it? But I got some resources now, so we can get to that.
Go to the courthouse. Go to the courthouse and talk. is probably a small town where you can go straight to the county courthouse and they'll probably help you find the information you look for.
Okay, awesome.
I've sent letters and I've done the cold calling. And my 2 deals that I have haven't been from, it's been off the MLS. But I sound all confident on the phone and, when I get calls, but I've always wondered how you get to that transition from saying, yeah, I can buy your house quickly, but knowing that you, at that moment, don't have the resources. And I know there's money out there, but what are some steps you kind of take to make that really happen? Like, in conversation and money-wise?
What are you trying to do?
Rentals.
You're trying to buy and hold?
Yeah.
With no money?
Well,
No, I don't care. I'm trying to understand your situation.
I mean, not like buying in cash, but like down payments.
Sure. No. I wasn't trying to.
Not what you're saying. That's yeah. But in other words, like my second house, I just got a tenant in it. But like, if I wanted to buy another one, I'm not exactly having enough to buy a third. But I'm always looking. So I'm trying to be like,
So, do you know what a great deal is down here?
Yes.
Okay. So if you get a great deal under contract, could you sell that contract to someone?
I would hope so.
So it sounds to me like you really need to start networking and find people that. Who would buy a great deal right now if it came across their desk? Turn around and look.
Yeah.
All those people, so if you get a great deal under contract and it's, it's a great deal, but you don't have the money right then and there, raise your hand again if you would buy a great deal that came to you right now. There's 10 people in here that would buy it from you right now.
Yeah.
All right, am I answering your question or not?
Yeah. I guess.
You could easily wholesale that, make it what? At least
I want to
5
wholesale it. I want it.
Okay, then get you a JP partner, right? Get you a money partner.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. Who has money in here right now that would go 50-50 in a deal if it was a great deal? You go 50-50 if someone brought a great deal to you. Look around, there's like 6 people that just raised their hand.
Yeah.
What's the you want it all for yourself? You're not. No, I'm being serious.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I guess I guess the trip ups that I have, because I've heard that partnerships and stuff, but I feel like there's so many to be careful about.
Of course.
And so I guess I feel like I have to go to school again before I can say, I can buy it, because I don't know the nuances of partnerships and
I think you're totally overthinking this.
Yeah, and I could be.
So the answer then I believe, if you've got those hangups and you just don't know, the answer to me is clear. Forget about that house. Wholesale the hell out of it. Get your $5 grand. Get out. Start building up your cash reserve. Because guess what? This is how I feel that houses are. Guys, I think that there's a big conveyor belt. And it's just going, and all these houses that are great deals are on this conveyor belt. And when I'm ready for another house, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to this conveyor belt. I'm going to get me a house. You're acting like that's the only one.
Yeah.
Wholesale it. Make your money and get out. And go to the next one.
You can't get them all.
You cannot get them all. Well, except what?
I don't know nothing about wholesale.
Do you know how to get a house under contract?
Yeah.
Do you know that there's 6 or 7 people in here right now that would buy a great deal? You sell them the contract. Are there any attorneys in town that would do a double closing or an assignment? Are there any attorneys that would do that in Montgomery?
Yes.
Who are they?
I've done a double close with Lanier Branch before.
With who?
Lanier Branch.
Lanier Branch? They'll do it all for you. Is there anybody that does assignments? Who's not afraid to share? What title company or attorney would do an assignment right here in this county? None? Nobody? Nobody would? So listen, what's your name? Jonathan? I'm getting on Google. Assignments. Real estate attorneys, closing attorneys, Montgomery. And I'll pick up that phone. Hey, do you do assignments? Hey, do you do assignments? Hey, do you do assignments? Hey, do you do double closings? And I'm asking, I'm talking to as many people as I can. Go to other real estate groups. There's other ones down here. You're way overthinking this. I really think you are. You want to make money?
Okay.
You want to make money? Okay.
He's conservative.
No, I'm conservative too.
He's.
But I want to make money.
Yeah, I understand, but
Oh, yeah, I mean,
You don't know anything about wholesaling? Get on our podcast. I've got like 6 of them that says how to wholesale. You want a contract? I'll send you a contract. Email me. I'll send you a contract.
You got it.
Bro, I want you to make money, man.
I got you.
No, I'm serious. No, you gotta get out of your own way.
Yeah.
No, I want you to make a lot of money. Hey, go get all that money and go buy you your next rental.
Yeah.
That's what I did, guys. I have almost 80 rentals by taking all my fix and flip revenue and all my wholesale revenue and just dumping it into that's my business plan. My business plan, it's not to fix and flip forever. I don't want to do that. It's not to wholesale forever. I don't want to do that either. I take all that money in this funnel and I go and buy another rental. That's my business plan. And I was able to replace my wife's 6-figure income by doing that consistently and being patient.
Paid for.
Are you,
What's that?
How many of your rentals are paid for?
Not many, but I'm under 50% LTV on software. Yeah.
Yes.
are you a real estate agent also?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
So, but you use that to be able to find and buy houses, or do you actually sell for other people?
Today I hate being a listing agent. I own my own brokerage, mainly because I see, it's a profit center. I'm a big believer in multiple streams of revenue.
So you have realtors that work for you,
Yes, ma'am.
you just don't do it yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Um,
I even have flips going on right now that I don't even list myself, because I just don't want to go
Yeah.
through all that.
were you, were you a realtor before?
No, and I kind of think you're kind of getting the
Well,
question.
I'm a realtor and I'm an investor, but I'm trying to figure out the best way to kind of just, other than the obvious having access to the MLS, use that best to our advantage
Yeah,
to
well,
grow it.
well, for me, it is the MLS. For me, it's control. Like, I need control. I can't be with, no, seriously, like, I can't be with like a Keller Williams because they're not gonna let me wholesale. They're not gonna let me do the stuff that I wanna do and need to do. So I wanted to be in control of all that.
So how long have you been a realtor?
Since 2014.
So when you got into all
2015.
this, you went and got were a realtor, and
So
then you
I
had
don't
to work under
recommend-
somebody for 2 years.
I don't recommend anyone get their real estate license right away. I do recommend you get it eventually, but if you're brand new, there's so much you gotta learn. I don't recommend that you try to learn investing and the licensure stuff. I just own my brokerage right now. I don't do anything right now. I just have access to the MLS. Yep. Sir?
Do you got a video on, your website that teach you how to do the ARV and stuff?
Yes, sir. On the Alleria YouTube page. Yes, sir. 100%.
When does the Alleria meet?
Great question. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I did not ask you to say that. Alleria meets, you can go to our website, alleria.com. Alleria meets on the second Thursday night of every single month. We had been at one location permanently for a while. Recently, we're having to kind of move a little bit. Our next meeting is May the 10th in Birmingham. That's something you're interested in, you just go to our website. There's like a little banner at the very, very top. Click on that, it takes you to our meetup page. So Meetup's actually the best place to get all our information, or our Facebook page. Meetup.com/Alleria, Facebook.com/Alleria. To learn all that stuff. May 10th, we have the nation's leading tax and asset professional, who's an attorney out of Ohio. He does the tax and asset protection for most of the big guys in the country. He's going to speak on specific laws, new laws, stuff like that. It's going to be really, really informative. June 14th is the next one after that, where there's one of the leading wholesalers in the entire country is coming to speak to our group. So if you're interested in wholesaling, I highly recommend June 14th, if it's not too much of a drive for you to come up to Birmingham. Or you can do that.
What time usually?
We start at 6:30 prompt, like 6:30 on the dot. So I recommend you, but we open the doors as early as 5 o'clock, so we have over 200 people coming, so it's a great networking opportunity.
What building?
So I would just say go to Alleria.com and look at the events part, because we're moving around a little bit. We're at the Winfrey Hotel by the Galleria in Hoover in May, and then we're going back to our home, which has been the Embassy Suites Hotel in Homewood, which is right kind of downtown Birmingham.
You said you thought that y'all were gonna come down here, like have a branch.
We are so we're already in Huntsville, and we're probably gonna do something down here first of next year, right after football season.
You talking about like a local chapter? Local.
Yep. So if you just kind of hang out on our Facebook page for a little while, like our page and follow us and see what we're up to, and ask questions, get engaged. I would actually, we have a members only group. It's kind of Birmingham specific, but we only allow people paying members to get in. I would let any of you guys in it. for free, just so you guys can kind of get a feel of what the membership looks like and how they interact. We'd love for you to jump in, and if you have any questions, we'd love for you guys to get involved. Anybody learn anything tonight?
Yes.
Was it worth your time coming out?
Can we get your book?
I would love to give you guys, thank you, I'd love to give you guys a copy of my book, and I'd love to actually write you guys a note. So I would love to do that right over here, if you guys are cool with that. Awesome, guys, thank you.